on the Nephews sports podcast show. Javier, my nephew, is in Atlanta, Georgia. My other people are Nathan, who's in Turlock, but Nathan's from Sacramento. He's in Turlock, and then Frankie, he's visiting his cousin Frankie. But
amazing
this is sport,
Casey.
right? And this is a sports podcast. But anyway, they said my nephews are sponsored by My Guy Market at 504 East Belmont Avenue here in the wonderful city of Fresno, California, where they won. Hopefully, they win it again. They win the best sandwich made in the San Joaquin Valley, and they make a sandwich called the Checkmate, which is a Texas steak short rib steak sandwich.
Checkmate over, folks.
Right, and my guy market is his own. One of the owners is Floyd Sanchez, and then the cook Eddie. I call him Dynamite Eddie, man. He makes it happen, man. Hustling. He did really well this past week, man. He actually said he sold out. It's like, man, there you go. Also, I gotta tell you one more thing. I got more than one sponsor. I got Big Sam and Nephews is also sponsored by Fresno Social Sports, where adults come to play and they connect and they can have fun, and they're building a community one game at a time. They have a lot of games, as what Fresno Social Sports does. Like right now, they're in the midst of doing pickleball, and they do kickball, and then they also have an adult prom down in Madera, California, up in Madera, California. This is like probably about 15 miles outside of Fresno, but they do that too. But anyway.
That sounds interesting. I didn't go to proms when I was in high school.
Well, maybe you come down to Fresno.
Sam, our listening audience, Sam deferred and mentioned pickleball first. Big Sam hates pickles. So
don't use the word hate. I dislike pickles. I'll put it that way. I just like pickles. But that's just me. Also, Eric DeYoung, owner of Fresno Social Sports, give him a shout out. Let's talk some baseball, man. I think this tonight. Do they play tonight? The Dominican Republic and the USA baseball team. Do they play tonight?
It'll be 5 o'clock tonight, Sam.
It is 5 o'clock.
Yeah,
that is
8 Eastern.
Right.
And who say Venezuela and the Dominican?
No. The Dominican Republic plays the United States. It's winner take all. You lose, you go home.
Oh, it's winner. Okay, it's down to single elimination.
Single elimination. This is my own prediction. I could be wrong, but that Dominican Republic team, oh my God.
Yes.
Oh my God, they are loaded with the capital L people. Tatis, right field. Guerrero. Vladimir Guerrero.
Guerrero Jr.
Jr. He's rocking and rolling. They got every big name Latin guy, all the Latin guys that are stars. The American team is they got better pitching. The American team does. They got some good pitching. I can't take that away from them. But overall, I'll tell you who I was impressed with. Bobby Witt Jr.
I don't know. I mean, I think the U.S. is kind of stacked too.
They are,
but what?
Not like that Dominican Republic team, Nathan.
PR has the hitting, Sam. You're right.
They do. They got the boppers, and if they get past the USA, nobody's gonna beat Japan. I'm sorry, Japan. I saw Japan play last night. I turned it off. They were just trounced.
Who got team? Man got, or they trounced somebody?
They trounced Venezuela.
Okay.
But all the Latin teams.
Think of this, Sam. Now, I think that it's sort of what do you call that? Sort of exponential progression You remember Japan, or was it Taiwan, that used to win the Little League World Series every year?
Correct.
I mean, they were
Correct.
20 straight years or something crazy, right?
Right.
I don't
Right.
know, is that Japan or Taiwan?
Probably Taiwan.
It was Taiwan.
Okay. All right. Well, okay, Taiwan, right. But I wonder, that big emphasis was on team ball. They also practice year round. They practice pretty much year round,
Correct. That's what they do.
Obviously, Team Japan can't practice year round because, half of them are playing in Japan and, half are playing here in the US, right? Maybe even a few of them playing in Korea, who knows, right? But, team emphasis, right? And that would suggest to me, instead of big boppers, is keep the lineup moving. Keep the lineup moving. You see, minimize pitch count would be another aspect of that. So I wonder. I've heard some people say that Japan favor Japan to take it all.
I do. I've seen the Japan play. I would say the big boppers are on the Dominican Republic.
Well,
The pitching is the United States.
Japan lost to Venezuela last night, 8-5.
Oh, they did?
Yes.
They out? Are they out?
They
here?
out. They out.
Ooh.
Say they're out?
They out. They out, player.
Oh.
And Puerto Rico lost to Italy. What were we thinking, bro? Come on, man. We can't lose to them suckers. I'm mad at that, man.
You know what? I don't know that they were star-studded, but some of our Italian brothers can play.
Nah, they home run. They hitting some home runs out there, man. They are really
Right.
just swinging the bat really
Well,
well.
that team is coached by Mike Piazza.
Hey.
The Nicaraguan team is coached by Dusty Baker.
Yep.
Nicaragua.
Yeah. Dusty, I was online 2 nights ago looking, I might have been last night. Dusty speaks fluid Spanish, man. Fluid.
No kidding.
I was impressed, man.
That's awesome. Dusty's from
You know,
Somebody told me that they had when he got drafted by Atlanta, they had a kind of a party for him. He used to come out of high school probably. And a girl that lived across the street from me. You remember D.B. Pitts?
yeah,
You remember D.B.?
the Pitts family.
Well, I mean, I was 12. I had no shot. She was 17. So, that didn't mean
12, 17.
just
Yeah.
followed her around 12 and 17. What? Sam, come on. I mean, I'm sure she never looked at me,
That's my point.
Okay, right. Yeah.
I was being sarcastic.
Gotcha. So old Dusty kind of liked her too, from what Chip told me. She said she came home and said there was this guy following me around all night. He probably trying to work up enough nerve to say hi or something. That's kind of how I was in high school. I don't blame him. But yeah, old Dusty, learning Spanish, man. That's cool.
But anyway, that changes everything now. If the United States can get past the Dominican Republic, which me personally, I just don't see it. Because you're going up against the pitching. The Americans got some of the best pitchers money can buy.
And Paul Ski, Logan Webb.
Right. But on the same token, the boppers are in Dominican Republic, man. They are loaded, man. Tatis, Guerrero.
The U.S.
Well, Severino's pitching for the DR, so that's a good pitcher.
Well, he's not shabby either.
Yeah.
He's not shabby either.
You got Severino. Yeah.
If you project it, we're in the middle of spring training, so the guys are only going like 4 innings.
Yeah.
Right. They're going to be on an innings limit and a pitch limit, right? So who starts ain't going to pitch long, right?
No.
So it's who's after that, right?
Yep.
The bullpen.
Man, I don't. Now the U.S. took a butt whooping. It was like 8-0. Then we came back and lost 8-5.
8-6.
Okay, 8-6. But I won't. I'm not ready to give up on the U.S. just yet because I'm just going to guess that we probably have from top to bottom, offense and pitching. We probably have the most talented team.
Yeah, for sure. For that is for sure. That is 100% for sure.
I'm a
The
star
only
of your
thing
team.
that
Check
I
out my
don't
game
like
day drip.
about
It's
the
custom.
U.S. team
Forget the game.
is that I
You're
don't
watching me.
care much for what's the boy's name that plays for Philadelphia, the outfield, the first baseman.
Schwarber.
Well, who was it?
Nick Schwarber.
Not Schwarber. No.
Oh, Bryce Harper.
Bryce Harper.
Out here, we
Not,
call him Bryce Harper.
Yeah,
he fooled the Giants, negotiated with him, knowing he was never going to sign here.
Yeah.
Right.
So we called him. He signed with Philadelphia. He got the nickname Price Harper with a P.
Yeah, he's not looking too good defensively at first base, but again, Bryce came in to be a part-time first baseman, and he ended up being a full-time first baseman. So he's still learning the art of how to play first base. So I'll give him that.
That what you don't like about him?
Yeah, but he's got a bat. He's got a bat.
Oh, he carries a
bat.
big stick. Oh, he
can-
carries
But
a big stick.
I am so impressed with that Bobby Witt Jr.
He's good.
He's stud, man.
Bad.
Fast, very fast player, quick.
Yeah, his dad
was a good pitcher.
Yeah, he was a good pitcher, and so he got a very physical. I mean, this guy had the body of a Adonis or something, right?
Right.
Witt, I haven't seen him play very much. I think he was the first overall pick to Kansas City.
Mm-hmm. That he was.
He saw the potential in him. He probably had the body. Obviously, that's not tangible so much. Who cares what it looks like? But the speed, the bat speed. He plays shortstop, I think, generating 30, 35 home runs a year and, probably over 300.
It's gonna be hard for Kansas City to keep him in Kansas City.
Unless because what some of the guys are doing is during their, the first 3 years, you don't make any money, right?
Right.
Comparatively speaking, right? I mean, I'd be happy to make $500,000, but that's nothing in the bigs. So you're making 500, then maybe 700, then maybe 800, and then it's the fourth year arbitration. So what the guys are doing, what teams are doing, okay, look, we want to make a commitment. We want to sign you to a 10, 12, or 13-year contract, right? And you'll average, $25 million a year. Okay, so that means that's considered you're buying out that rookie deal or that first thing, where you're going to make $700,000-800,000 for your first year for your first 3 years. Then when you go to arbitration, you're really not making the kind of money that you could make. So arbitration, you don't make 30 or 40 million. You might make 20, right? So we're going to pay you, let's say 25 to 30 million a year average times 12 or 13 years. So here's 360 million, right? That's how they could keep him.
Kansas City is not a big market team. They're in the Midwest, for one. And fans come out to watch him play. But he's not in a big market, money-wise, he's not in a big market team. He's not on the left coast, and he's not on the right coast, which is the Dodgers, and the Yankees. Those two teams will be able to bid on him and get him. I think he'll be gone after this year. Just my own opinion. I could be wrong.
They ain't letting him go. This is not that quick, right? I mean,
he's carrying the team.
Huh?
He is carrying the team,
and he's gonna keep carrying the team because they're making money off him. The stands are full. Right. They're winning. They're competing, I should say, right?
Bryce Harper struck out.
But Nathan, you got to be realistic.
Okay.
Don't you think that the Yankees would be able to pay for him? Don't you think that the team that you don't like would be able to pay for him?
Thank you, Sam, for not mentioning that word.
Thank you. I know you don't like them.
Of course they could. That blue team in LA is out. That's you know what? People used to rant and rave, even me. Even they had me fooled. I mean, how do you win 100 games a year for 10 straight years? Your favorite to win 100 games a year for the next 5 years after that, and you still have the top rated, one of the top 2 or 3 rated farm team, minor league systems in the game. That's not supposed to happen. What they're doing, okay, real simple formula. What they would do is every other year they would go break the bank on international talent, the Dominican and Mexico and places. They'd spend the max, and then next year they wouldn't spend that much. So they're getting the best players every other year, right? So that fills up the farm system, and of course they draft and develop well, right? Here, there's no limit to who you draft here, all right. So you got a good solid farm system, but then they would go and buy the superstars. They bought Freddie Freeman, and they bought
Mookie Betts.
Mookie. No, well they traded for Betts, but I think
Right.
Man,
But
Boston.
they traded him and then signed him. But yeah, Boston gave him up because Boston didn't want to pay him.
They
Right.
want to pay him, so they were almost happy to get rid of him. So they gave him to LA for nothing.
Nothing. Yep.
Then they got a lot of people down there, what's the left fielder? The fans love him. Not a superstar.
Kiki.
Huh?
Kiki Hernandez.
Kiki. He's a very popular player. He was one of the ones that got traded for Mookie. Well, then they went and got him back, right?
Right.
So I mean, they got in essence they got him for nothing, and then they went out and bought the 3 big superstars. They bought another big one, and now then the pitching staff. They bought they bought Rocky Sasaki, another guy from Japan, and the redheaded. No, they drafted May, who's traded now, but they just go out and buy their entire pitching staff, right? So they're not developing superstars; they're developing good, solid players out of the minor league system. Then they're buying their superstars, and not everybody can afford to do that.
Right, and in a trading a guy in the minor leagues, it'll be you get to trade him to get another big name superstar to come into the Dodgers.
Yeah, So big
that's the formula to success, because really, you think about it, Dodgers won back-to-back 2. They're not going to win again. I think their ship ran dry.
Oldest in the bigs now, but they went out and just stockpiled their pitching staff.
Right.
Frank and I were talking just before the show. I think he mentioned, old baseball adage. The favorite is based on tomorrow's starting pitcher.
Right.
So when you're running, high level guys out there every game, right? Well, I mean, they're going to keep you in the game. And the lineup they have, those dudes can hit, man.
They can.
I don't think that's the formula to success. That's the way to rig the system. They bought Ohtani, right? How did they do it? Right? They gave that dude an $800 million contract. That's crazy. But how do they get around it? You know what they're paying him per year? $2 million lousy stinking dollars. Okay, Bobby, you couldn't sign Bobby Witt for no $2 million. Okay, no.
But Nathan, they're going to be paying Ohtani for a long period of time. After he's done with baseball, he's still going to be getting some checks from the Dodgers.
Not that long, because they're paying him $2 million a year for 9 years, and then in year 10 they pay him $780 million. If you think that's not cheating, skirting the rules, cheating the system, rigging the game, come on.
Nathan, I'm going to say one thing to you, buddy.
By the time they're going to give him any money, he'll be an old man.
What's my point? Wah.
They're probably hoping they'll be like, yeah, man, he could. It's almost like an insurance payment. You might die. You might die before we really have to pay out. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying like.
But they love Otani.
Sam,
They love that. They love him in Los Angeles.
What
The Asian population.
Huh? Who was that for?
Asian.
Who was
What?
that? Was that who's crying, Sam? Huh? Who was
You.
that for? Or were you wiping your glasses?
Crimea River.
You. You're saying it.
America.
Just
America. I'm gonna. I have my own version of "Make America Great Again" because I don't like the other version. Sam, American.
Nobody likes that version.
You are making fun of America's pastime. You're helping that lousy team, those lousy cheaters. You're helping skirt the system and rig the game and keep themselves competitive long past when they should be. Sam, what did you should no, I won't say apologize to America.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
But let's hold them to the same standards. I think baseball ought to have, the union would never go for it. They ought to have the
Dodger rule.
Hard cap. Well, it will be. I think that Otani deal that cheating deal is going. I think they're going to change it. You know,
they're going to nullify it.
Well, no, they won't nullify the contract because they were within the rules, but they skirted the system. And so what I think they're going to way to fix it. Say, okay, you know what? You can't backdoor or backload a contract. Whatever you pay them counts against your annual salary cap. So
in other words, they count against the cap.
Yeah, make it count against the cap, right? And baseball doesn't have a hard cap.
No, they don't. Which I'm thinking eventually baseball is going to get a hard cap.
I'm not so sure about that because the players will never accept it. But the way of what they do instead, that you can't spend this any more than this, is they say if you spend more than this, right, then you pay into the general pool.
Right.
You know, and so when teams have to pay $100 or $150 or $200 million, then when you get into an owner's pocket, you see how much they really care about winning. You want to win more or keep your money.
But the thing about the Dodgers, though, Nathan, they get the TV revenue is stupidly crazy.
They're in New York, man. They're in the league.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, well,
that's what I'm saying.
They can afford to do this, but can they? You know what? The owners are all billionaires, so if they want to pay $200 million a year, they could. If they're making $250 million a year and you paid 200 of it in penalties, okay, so I made $50 million this year, right? All right, but that man, I think the owners are all men. I don't think there's women owners, but in baseball anyway, became a billionaire. Did not become a billionaire by giving away money. That's number one, right? So they're going to, okay, well, we'll put the brakes on. I'm keeping my money. What do you think?
Well, they think that way, but the Dodgers, they want to win badly. And they circumvented this. Is it fair? Probably not. Probably not. But you know how it is. Things like that go.
Yeah.
Such is life. Win at all cost. In other words, if you're not.
Well, that's when you're talking about somebody else's money.
Right.
Because they're all.
Go ahead.
Probably all spend that kind of money, but it ain't gonna. But you have that humongous TV contract. That's where they make not tickets, hot dogs, and not parking. But it's that ridiculous TV contract, you know.
They got the Dodgers got a fat one, and the Yankees got the other fat one on the East Coast.
I'm betting the Mets have a good one too.
Probably.
They just don't spend the money.
Right.
We got like 3 minutes left.
All right, I want to wrap it up, people. Thanks a lot for listening. Big Sam and Nephews. Let's go. Big Sam and Nephews is sponsored by my guy Market at 504 East Belmont Avenue in Fresno, California. They're makers of the yummy San Joaquin Valley's best sandwich in the San Joaquin Valley. the Checkmate sandwich. It's a Texas short rib sandwich. And the owner of My Guy Market is Floyd Sanchez. I want to thank Floyd and the cook, Eddie. Rock and roll Eddie, man. Good job, Eddie. You're doing an excellent job. I watch everything. I watch YouTube and I watch the other one there. What's the other one? I had a brain fart. Anyway, then press on. And then my Guy Market is also sponsored by Fresno Social Sports, where the adults come to play and they connect and have fun, and they're building a community one game at a time. At Fresno Social Sports, if you need that information, Eric DeYoung is the owner of Fresno Social Sports, and they have a lot of different games for adults. They just got done with indoor soccer. Now I do believe they're picking up doing pickleball now, and then they also do an adult prom for adults. So if you haven't gone to the adults, the adult prom, come to Merced, California in June. They got to use you about. I think last year was in June. Just the same. But anyway, that's Fresno Social Sports. And I also want to thank. I got my family working for me. I want to thank.
Greg.
Oh man, can't leave him out. My stat, I got 2 stat guys. I got my brother Ricky Williams, the stat guy for me, and then my other nephew, little Nelvin, he's the other stat guy. And then also want to thank Roddy Walls. We're going to have her on next Sunday, hopefully. We have her on, and also want to give a shout out to my man John Stockton. See, John, I give you another shout out. Be listening, man. And also give a shout out to my nephew, Salvador Carry On. Anybody else have anything else to say?
Yeah, Big Sam.
Yes, sir.
Will you have some good information on how to get those cookies from Riley?
Yeah. She sells cookies on the side.
That's what I'm going to ask her. Maybe what I'll do is I'll text her and just find out how you can get a hold of them. I got to think about it. Yeah, Riley makes some. Oh, dude, she made. I think the last batch I got from her, they were killer. I shouldn't have been eating them, but I ate them, man.
Yeah.
They were good. But anyway, I'll text her and find out exactly how to get a hold of that. I'll let Nathan know.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you, everybody. We will see you next Sunday.
Yep.
Big Sam and Nephews. We're out.
Peace.
Bye-bye.